Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. And tonight, we're going to be recapping the year, man. 2022 was a hell of a year, even more of a hell of a year for hip hop, depending on who you talk to or what your taste in music is. On one end, people will say hip hop this year was bright, colorful, full of a lot of different flavors. And then on the other end, you might get some people who say, well, hip hop was mostly a shit show with glimpses of what real hip hop was or is. I guess for me, you know what I'm saying, being a fan and being an artist, so I have two ways to look at it. As a fan, I'm really not a fan of too much that's out right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. I'm harsh. I don't like a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But for the things that I did like this year, it was very few, far and in between. Then you had moments this year where, like for instance, when Snoop bought Death Row. That was a full circle moment right there. You know what I'm saying? That was something that a lot of people can look at and be inspired to own business based off of him and his journey and what he chose to do. While we talking about Snoop, him and Dr. Dre won Emmys for their performance at the halftime Super Bowl performance, which was something that was put on by the NFL and Jay-Z. One of the dopest, most elaborate performances I've ever seen at a Super Bowl halftime show. You know what I'm saying? Big moment for hip hop. The award shows, what can I say about the award shows? I mean, once you find out how they're ran, this really takes all the fun out of watching it, you know. I don't know what to say about the award shows. They just continue to go down the drain, much like radio, you know what I'm saying, has gone down the drain. You did see a glimpse of what real hip-hop is, though. You seen certain artists come out and put out classic material this year. You have exceptional MCs in the game. And right now, I like to salute all those brothers and sisters who are doing a job with keeping the culture alive. Not just making money and thriving, but actually keeping the culture alive with talent. You know what I'm saying? And so, let's just go on and get to it, man. Before I get to the best, I'm going to deal with the worst. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, rap music has suffered with its identity, suffered with its sound. The same old same formula regurgitated over and over and over again, which is why there are more whack rap albums that have came out this year versus the good ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of the artists that are on the worst albums list, I'm actually fans of. It's just they put out a fucking dud. And I'm honest. I'm honest enough to say if it's good, if it's classic, if it's mid, if it's trash. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying, and all I'm doing is basing my opinion off listening to the product. Nothing else. So with that being said, we're going to get on to the worst rap albums of 2022. Somebody who I've been a fan of since he came in the game. The Game, Drillmatic. When I first heard that he was calling his album Drillmatic, it made me cringe, because how could you take a weak subgenre of rap and you mix that with the title of one of the greatest rap albums ever made? It just didn't sound right. Drillmatic. It just doesn't sound right. And that's the thought I had in my head before the album even came out. The record with Kanye was cool. I thought that was straight. And then comes possibly the worst diss record I ever heard in my life, which is called The Black Slim Shady. And it was the worst diss record. I was expecting the Game that showed up on 300 Bars and Running and took down the whole record label with an 18-minute song. That wasn't the same Game that showed up. It was all over the place. It was weird, you know, and you could tell that it really didn't mean much because Eminem never responded to it. And they'll let you know right there that the diss track was lackluster. Aside from the diss track, the album was a bunch of remake songs from the 90s with whack-ass features on them. And then it was a double album. It was 30 songs. Very, very, very disappointing. Especially coming off of a near classic, which his last album, Born to Rap, was a near classic. You know, very disappointing. Lil Baby, It's Only Me. I'm sorry, man. You know, I listened to this album and I didn't get anything out of it. Much like a lot of music today, I just didn't get anything out of it. It just sounds like the same old same to me, and it's not impressive to me. Just serves no purpose, man. You know. Number 11, Future, I Never Liked You. For one, I don't even consider this guy a rapper, even though a lot of people do. I've never heard him rap in his entire career. In my personal opinion, he makes R&B music. That's fine if you like that, but you know, it's nothing impressive about somebody singing in auto-tune to me. Number 10, Lotto, 777. Basically, prostitution tales. You know, the talk of a streetwalker, the talk of somebody who sells their body for money. It's not impressive. It doesn't make me say, oh yeah, I want to jam that while I'm out in the club or at a party. It doesn't appeal to me. Number 9, Megan Thee Stallion, Traumazine. More of the same old same. Prostitution, get niggas for their money, sit on a nigga face, sell yourself. Same old same. You know what I'm saying? Nothing different. Number 8, Glorilla. Threw me off because of the way she sounds, and then you look at the way she looks. She's a very petite, light-skinned girl, but she sounds like a 300-pound linebacker when she's rapping. A lot of it is ratchet. A lot of it is, you know, whole shit, basically, for lack of a better word. The cold part is all Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, they're conveniently right behind each other on this list, but their content is exactly the same. The only difference is Glorilla sound like a man. That's the only difference. Number 7, Gunna. I listened to the guy music and I wasn't impressed. It sounds like the same old same. Sometimes it sounds like R&B. Not sure if I'm listening to a rapper or R&B singer. Number 6, DJ Khaled. God Did. For the exception of including Jay-Z on the verse, this album was completely washed from set go. It was washed. I forget Jada was on the album too. You know what I'm saying? Props to Jada, but his albums are always a bunch of features haphazardly thrown together, and it don't always make the best records. And that's what it come down to, because DJ Khaled doesn't write, he doesn't produce. All he does is pair the artists with each other, take the records, put them on the album, release them. Number 5, Lizzo, Special. I'm pretty sure there's some people in the world who like her music, but as far as me, it doesn't relate to me. Bears no relation to me. I don't listen to it. It's not my cup of tea. Number 4, Finesse 2 Times, a name that I've been hearing a lot about this year. I've heard the records. I wasn't impressed. Like I say, man, a lot of people rapping today suffer with the syndrome of sounding the same, you know, and I'm from the era where originality was key, and having your own identity was something that was commonplace, not sounding like everybody else. Number 3, 21 Savage and Drake, Her Loss. For the record, 21 Savage has never released anything classic or anywhere near it. And Drake is not even a rapper. He's a R&B pop singer who makes music for the guys who close the refrigerator door with their hips. So them even trying to talk about having album of the year is a big joke. This album is toilet water. Straight toilet water. Flush it, please. Pusha T, It's Almost Dry. I hate to have somebody like Pusha T on this fucking list, because he don't deserve to be on this list. The reason why this album is on this list is because here you have a good MC, gets great production from the likes of Pharrell Williams and Kanye West on one album, but the whole album is about selling crack. If you've been following the clips from their inception, they've been talking about selling crack since 2002. It's 2022. Don't you think that it's time to put that content down and maybe rap about something else? He's been rapping about pushing birds for 20 years now. It sounds boring and fucking redundant. And that's why that album is on the list. And number 1 is NBA Youngboy. Now, I didn't specifically name an album because I'm aware that he dropped more than one album this year. So we could say any of those albums, you could fit them all in the number 1 spot for Wacker's albums of 2022. I don't get the hype. He has I used to think that Drake fans were terrible. No, I stand corrected. He has one of the most girlish, feminine fan bases ever in history. I mean, you have boys who are painting their fingernails and wearing makeup because he does it. Need I say more? The music itself sounds like a garbage disposal clogged up. There's nothing that I can pinpoint that's insightful, that has quality to it. He's not giving you any news you can use. He's not lyrical at all. Hell, some of the songs he's not even fucking rapping. Let's just be honest, man. This shit is completely overrated. Completely overrated. Now that we got the bullshit out the way, let's get to the good stuff, man. Let's get to the good part. Good part would be the best rap albums for 2022. Before we get to that, we're going to give them the best verse. And you already know what it is. It's Jay-Z on God Did, on DJ Khaled's whack-ass album God Did. Hova pretty much went like 5 minutes. He went like a whole amount of bars on it. Jay-Z got the verse of the year. And we gonna go on and get into the best rap albums, man. At number 9, the late great Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest. The record is called Forever. Believe it came out in March of 2022. He had some good shit on there. He had Busta and Redman on there too. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Phife. Number 8, Freddie Gibbs. Soul Sold Separately. What surprised me is that he had Face on his album. Not too many people rapping today can get Face, someone who is retired from the game, on their album. And if you do that, that means you have to be somewhat of a credible MC to do that, you know. Number 7 is Black Star, and that's Mos Def, might be known to y'all as Yasin Bey, and Talib Kweli. No Fear Time. Number 6 is a new guy that I just found out about this year, a guy named Saba, and his album is called A Few Good Things, and it was actually refreshing to hear, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that always finds new artists refreshing, but he was definitely doing his thing, spitting on there, you know what I'm saying? So much respect to Saba. Number 5 is Mount Westmore, and that's the super group. That's Snoop, Ice Cube, Too Short, and E40. You know what I'm saying? Number 4 is Snoop Dogg, Back on Death Row. Very good album. I was happy to hear that he had a record with Nate Dogg on there. Sound like Nate was right there with him when he made it. That album is a near classic to me. There was only one record on there I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Number 3, Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, and the Big Steppers. It took us 5 years to get to this point, but I'm happy he's back, dropping music, and word is, he's working on another one. I hope it don't take you 5 years to put it out. You know what I'm saying? Number 2 is Lupe Fiasco, Drill Music in Zion. Now, when I listened to this album for the first time, I was like, wow. Because I was expecting to hear some drill type stuff on there, and it wasn't. He actually made something special. And it's only 10 songs, so if you haven't listened to Lupe Fiasco's latest album, I urge you to listen to it, man. It might shock you like the way it shocked me, you know what I'm saying? And number 1, you already know who number 1 is. Nasir Jones, man. King's Disease 3, produced by Hit Boy. The number 1 best rap album of 2023. Looking forward to the new year with, you know what I'm saying, 2000, with the, you know, new year coming. I just hope that real hip hop comes back to the forefront. All this bullshit that people have been entertaining, calling music, dies out, goes to the background, fades to black, goes back to the gutter or the rat hole that it came from. As far as me rapping and what I plan to do, I plan to make it to where you ain't gonna be able to turn around without seeing or hearing me. And I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna be right here, ramming it right down your fucking throat. Because I have video after video. I have project after project coming your way. And I'm not gonna stop. Before we get up out of here, I would like to show respect to all those that we lost in 2022. It is an incredible long list of people who are no longer with us anymore. Some of them include family and friends. I'm not the best person when it comes down to speaking on loss, because I have a weird way of dealing with loss. But I just send prayers and healing energy to anybody who might need it. We got to remember those who are no longer with us. We got to continue to rep and maintain their legacy. And shout out to the good people at Ninth Dimension Enterprises. And on behalf of the good people at One Man Records, I am Cornbread Poem. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty, real hip-hop music.
Unpopular honesty, don't compromise your integrity. Keep your eyes on your grind, try to find longevity. Make your mind extensive, swift with your pensive. Don't sugarcoat your feelings, cause the world too sensitive. No participation.